To this story now, it's still unclear if Pastor Paseka Mboro Motsoeneng is among the 5 people appearing in court tomorrow for brandishing weapons at Matsediso Primary School in Katlehong. He was captured on video yesterday carrying a panga, demanding to take 2 children with him as the family fight over custody continued. The pastor's church has also been set alight this morning. Nqobile Madlala following these developments for us, and she joins us in studio. Nqobile, good evening to you. I want for the viewers perhaps who may not have seen this shocking video of Pastor Mboro wielding a panga and accompanied by people carrying very, very scary guns. I'd like for us to just start there before we carry on with what happened today. Let's take a listen to what is going on here. Nqobile, for any parent, even if you're not a parent, it's the screams of the children who are probably very frightened. Do we know today as to the condition of these children? How old are they, and were they able to sleep through what they experienced yesterday?
Well, Xoli, that's an important question, I can tell you that. But that is one that Steve Mabona from Education Department could not tell us completely. What we have heard from them, though, is that we've got this grade RR pupil, and so an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old who was in that video that you saw there. But what we know now is that they're with their paternal family. Now, let me remind you, the fight is between the maternal and the paternal. Yeah. The maternal is where the granny who says, I have custody over the children. These are my daughter's children. Then the paternal is where the father says, the mother's passed on, yeah. I have custody, right? And this is what was playing out in the school. Now, those children were taken out to the school, to the paternal family, and they remain with the paternal family at this point. Interesting, right, Xoli? Because, I mean, this is where you would imagine they are getting counseling, they're being helped. And Steve Mabona is telling us that they're with the paternal family, but social development will intervene. They're saying that they're having conversations with them. These children obviously has been exposed to such, and so there'll be conversations and counseling. They need to come back to school. Yeah. But in the meantime, 4 people, this is according to the people that were on the ground, who are currently parenting these children, are no longer there. So they are left with someone else in the family. We understand that the granny, even though it's not confirmed by the police, that the granny is currently arrested. We understand that the uncle, even though it's not confirmed, this is what we were told by the ANC Youth League in the region, that they were telling us that the uncle is also arrested. Yeah. But what is unclear is whether or not the pastor that was doing all of this, that was part of that, is arrested. We've asked the police continuously to ask if he has been arrested. Instead, they've told us that a 5th person has been arrested. They're saying that they trust the detectives that are on the ground. They're taking statements at the moment, and they won't be able to tell us until they have appeared before the Pembridge court, which is Tuesday. Yeah. But in the meantime, these children that we saw there are with their paternal family.
So let's take a listen to someone that you spoke to today who may have given us a glimpse of what has gone on, particularly the psychological trauma that these children may have experienced overnight after being taken away from school in such a manner. Let's just take a listen.
Abaya robala bana ba ka lona tse ba tshuhile bana ba ka ba traumatized ke ntho e leng hore pastor o yentse ha re hane ha ile go na le bothata na sa tlameya ho tla mo sekolong ke la haela bana Bathata a bona tlameha ba wa solve ntlong e seng mo sekolong. Sekolong bana ba rona ha ba sa ba safe jwang, bana ba rona se ba tshaba ho tla sekolong.
So let's conclude with this particular individual you spoke to. She seemed to relay the experiences of these children and how they possibly coping with the situation. Who is she?
So this is a parent that came to the school at Matsediso Primary School, and she was there as concerned parent, as part of the concerned parents that were outside. She talks about how her children have been affected because of what took place in the school. She talks about how they couldn't sleep, how they are scared to come to the school. But let me take you just a little bit closer. A lady that works in a tuck shop just near to the school says when it took place, children came running into her tuck shop and she had to lock herself in. She says she was scared. Now imagine what happened with these children. Now they're not the only one. We spoke to another parent who said apparently the other child also started speaking about how there were guns in the school. And they were scared. Others were even asking, what type of a gun is that? What kind of a weapon is that? And these are all the questions that the parents had to answer, which is why they were scared. Some of them decided that their children were not going to go to school, but they were going to go to school to have a conversation. And they didn't get addressed by the principal at the time, mainly because there were meetings that were taking place, but they needed answers, they wanted answers. And so some of them were even saying, bring back our children, let's go home until you have sorted out all of this so that we can have our children in a safe environment.
Yeah.
It speaks to the school safety.
Indeed, and those experiences, Nqobile, you speak about, or that parent who has a child, who has her children in the school, for a moment, I thought they were relaying the experiences of the two boys who were taken away in such an ugly manner. But come to think of it now, she's not talking about those children. Instead, she's talking about the children who watched all of this, watching the pupils that they go to school with being taken away in such a manner. So if there is so much trauma from children who were not party to this, and instead it's bystanders, you can only imagine what is going through the minds of those two boys. But for the time being, thank you very much.